friends, and welcome to day 2 of our 24-day Advent of self-care. My name is Amanda, and I am your host for today. So I hope that you had an amazing day yesterday, and I'd love to hear if you did happen to see any birds flying around, whether it was outside, on TV, or anywhere, maybe on Facebook. For me, to be quite honest, I didn't go outside at all yesterday because I had a bit of food poisoning and was completely sick all day. So I'm thinking to myself, I guess I'm not going to see any birds today. It's funny though, so I'm scrolling through Facebook laying in bed under the weather, and I see a pigeon page showing a live race. And I had completely forgotten that my father-in-law, who races pigeons, had entered his birds, and I had followed the page a while back, and it just happened to pop up that they were releasing the birds for race day this morning. So even though I was sick in bed, it was a nice reminder that God can send us messages in mysterious ways, and it's not always in the ways that we are expecting. So for today, we're going to be doing a little bit of self-reflecting. I feel like it's the end of the year. We're all, doing the hustle and bustle of the holidays, and then we're going to be starting the new year, looking into New Year's resolutions and so on and so forth. So today's story comes from the Bible about David and Goliath, and I'm sure most of you are familiar with that story. If you are not, David was a shepherd who went up against a massive giant named Goliath, who was deemed to be undefeatable, he's the big dog, and David went with God and defeated him and, became the hero of the people at that time. That's the short, if you will. Nothing technical. So King Saul was the king at the time, and at first he, was happy that, Goliath got defeated, but then he becomes very jealous of David. So David finds out that King Saul wants to kill him, and he leaves town and just starts going on the run, trying to escape King Saul and his army. Now, for my Christian friends, I don't know about you. I know that most of us are familiar with this story, but I never knew the actual timeline that David was on the run. David had to wait 13 years. So what's the difference between David and us? So David was a prime example that even though he cried out for God, there is a but. And the but is that he remained faithful the whole time. So we can use that example for times like these. What cave are you in right now where you are just waiting for God to answer a prayer for you? Had God answered David immediately, he would have never written the many Psalms that are used today. And it makes you wonder, did David know back then that his wisdom would be living on in today's time? What is it that you are patiently waiting right now for God to answer? Write those prayers down, so then when they do get answered in the future, you can look back and remember a time where he walked you through it. Now, for my friends that are atheists or agnostic, don't feel left out. You can still do the same action activity. You're going to just write down 3 things that you want to reflect on, that where you have been, where you're going, what can you learn from it, and what you want to change in the future. And you can also write down 3 things that you're grateful for. So please feel free to join us on this self-care. And I hope this helps you today. Just take a little bit of time away, 5 minutes again, to just reflect and just look at where you've been, where you are now, and where you're going. So I look forward to hearing your stories, and I'll see you tomorrow.